Is Armageddon coming to the global economy? China is unloading US bonds and buying large amounts of gold. And in the end of this article, I'm translating this from a Greek article. I've also heard that, read here that SVB Bank of California, Oprah Winfrey and Prince Harry have lost millions because they have their accounts there. And we know that if you see the video just before this one, the FDIC has taken over that bank, and they will only guarantee up to $250,000 bank deposits. So anyone above that amount will not get all their money back, which means that Harry and Meghan are in trouble and Oprah Winfrey is in trouble. And who knows what other celebrities have their money there. So going back to this, is Armageddon coming to the global economy? Because China is unloading US bonds and buying large amounts of gold. Concerning Washington, whether it will be able to respond to a Chinese invasion of Taiwan, the collapse of the US Silicon Valley Bank, that's where Oprah Winfrey and Prince Harry have their millions, and who knows what's, they've disappeared into thin air, I guess, with all this. Now, the biggest banking crisis since 2008 has raised concerns about the global economic climate. Yesterday's financial collapse of SVB Bank sent jitters across international markets, hitting bank share prices. Let's see what's going to happen tomorrow morning once the banks open again. Investors are, meanwhile, there's a run on the banks and other banks too. People are trying to withdraw their money. Now, investors are concerned about the possible exposure of the weaknesses of the U.S. banking system to the high interest rate policy to fight high inflation, followed by the U.S. Central Bank, the Federal Reserve. At the same time, certain moves by China are causing intense concern, which may foreshadow some kind of economic Armageddon or even an imminent invasion of the island state of Taiwan, which Beijing considers an extension of its territory. So information indicates that China is unloading American bonds at a rapid pace, while correspondingly buying large quantities of gold, which amount to almost 100 tons, only in the last 4 months, strengthening its reserves, which reached the end of 2022 to 2,011 tons, while at the end of January 2023, these had risen to 2,025 tons. As the most pessimistic state, the economic and financial situation in the world will never be the same again. There will be no safe haven from the impending economic collapse, even in the most developed country. Meanwhile, concerns about a Chinese invasion of Taiwan continue to grow, with Beijing now suspected of involvement in the destruction of some of the island's nation's undersea internet cables this week in another show of deliberate harassment. And according to Fox News, Taiwan's internet outage not only affects residents and visitors to the island, but also reveals significant implications for Taiwan's national security. There is no definitive evidence that China deliberately cut the undersea fiber optic cables, but the incident has brought renewed attention to what an attack on Taiwan could look like and whether the U.S. could stop that in time. U.S. scenarios involving a Chinese takeover of Taiwan generally involve a large-scale amphibious assault that would attempt to quickly and effectively surprise the island and its allies. President Biden has said he would send troops to counter a Chinese ground invasion, which would likely draw backlash from other U.S. regional allies and could make that form of attack costly and deadly for all parties involved. But it has also raised questions about whether the U.S. is capable of engaging China in a traditional style attack like the ongoing war in Ukraine. This is from Pro News, and I've translated this for you from a Greek article. Please leave your comments, and thank you for your support. Kindly support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support, and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box.